Hello, Titans family. Just wanted to reach out to you guys before we start our first practice slash scrimmage on Tuesday. One of the first things I want to talk about are player expectations. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say that we need to be dressed for practices or games before you get to the field. Prefer to be dressed as you leave your home. Shirts are tucked in. Number two, there is no cell phone or headphones in the dugout or on the field. No exceptions whatsoever. This will cause you not to be in the lineup if we see it, and we will follow that strict rules. There is no headphones, no cell phones in the dugout or on the playing field. Um, do not ask before or during games if I'm playing, what position, etc. Positions and lineups will be posted. That being said, we want you players that are on the bench for that game or at that moment to be prepared to come in. So there's plenty of things you can do while you're on the bench. If our team's playing defense on the field, you can warm up the outfielder. You can warm up the pitcher on the mound while the catcher gets prepared or drinks water or cools down or whatever. In addition to that, you can also be warming up in the bullpen for a pitcher that might be coming in an inning or two. And finally, the hitting net is always pretty much set up. So if there's instances where you might be coming in to bat or pinch hit for somebody, get your swings in. If we see that you're engaged, motivated to play. Um, During games, and if you're in the dugout, like I just said, you can warm up. There's plenty of things for you to be able to do. Okay. For the players that are playing a position, center fielder should always have a ball in his glove when he comes in from the field. Same thing with the first baseman. First baseman should have a ball in his glove, so when he goes back out there, he can right off the bat start warming up the infield, get them prepared. Same with the outfielder. Very important. Um, your at bat starts in the dugout, watching for patterns, to then to the on deck circle, get your timing down, walk into the plate if you can, ask your teammate if he struck out or grounded out or made it out. What's he throwing? Where's the umpire calling strikes? Outside, low, inside, high, etc. These are all things that can help your at bat to be productive. And what I mean by productive is moving a runner over from first to second, getting a base hit, getting a runner from second to third, or fly ball outs where a runner scores from third base. There's a lot of things you can do, but if you have the information and you're prepared, you're more likely to have a successful at bat. You are expected to arrive 1 hour before game time, regardless if a tournament or a scrimmage. You will find that I'll have equipment set up an hour and 15 minutes before game time, which means when you get there, you should have your routine set as far as how you get prepared for the game. So we always almost do a light jog to the foul pole, depending on which side of the dugout we're at, either right field foul pole or left field foul pole, which then should then include some dynamic warm-ups, okay, and some stretching, and we'll go over a few of them. It's not my job to tell you what to do. It's your job to be prepared to do what you need to do, okay, and that will get you ready for high school tryouts, number one, select teams in the future if you decide to play for another select team, or if you're doing a showcase and you're trying to impress scouts, coaches, so on and so forth. When they see that you're prepared to play an hour before the game, that just shows that you're motivated and the type of player that they might be looking for. Okay, you never walk onto a baseball field. You never walk off of a baseball field. You always run, jog to your position at all times. Never, ever, ever walk. Shirts tucked in, dressed, and ready to play. Um, You need to be cheering and rooting for your teammates, both on the field, defensive and backs. So we're looking for you if you're on the bench and your team's playing defense, rooting on your pitcher. If somebody makes a good play, hey, great play, first baseman, great play, outfielder, good job. Okay, same thing with the pitcher, a good pitch. Okay, we do not argue with umpires whatsoever. If there's something we don't like, okay, Coach Greg will ask the question, but the likelihood of that call being changed is very, very small, rarely happens. And we really pride ourselves on having a good reputation with umpires, okay? And that goes for our parents also. There's going to be things that you see that you don't like. Maybe it was a missed call. You arguing with the umpire is not going to help your cause, and in many cases, it's going to hinder you more than anything. Finally, players, communicate with your teammates about what's going on in the game. There's plenty of things you could talk about while the game is going on in the dugout. If the team is batting, there's things you can say, hey, look, I noticed this thing about how the pitcher is playing, or I noticed that the third baseman is playing way off the line or way back. Those are things as you're talking about it in the dugout, and then you get a chance to bat. You can notice these things and you can make good decisions because you have the information in front of you. Same thing about, a right-handed batter. Okay, who's going to cover second base? Who's going to do, left-handed batter? Okay, are we shifting more to the right field side, the first base side, so on and so forth. So these are just some of the things we're going to be talking about. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up on this, and we'll talk more about it on Tuesday. Thank you. Let's go Titans.